Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to say first, all glory to God. Without him, I am nothing.
Power the shove. Neighbor Nation, we will see you on Saturday afternoon. Riley Meister gets the point.
Back into left field. Say goodnight to that baseball.
This is another one. It's back to back jacks for KSU Tuscarawas. Needs a point, and it's alive. Hansen pushes it over. Unbelievable. We play on. It's blocked. We're tied. We're tied. Unbelievable.
So far this season in the WRCL, only 3 teams are 500 or better. Of course, in first place, you have the Stark County Terriers, as always, 7-1 so far on the year. However, second and third, 2 great teams, and the other 2 squads that currently fit the criteria of 500 or better. Coming to you live from Fisher Field in Berea, this is WRCL Baseball on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. Today's matchup, a good one, a doubleheader featuring Release Baseball back in this league for the first time in 2 years, and the T3 Warhawks. Hello, friends. Nathan Smee on the call for you this afternoon, live from the Fishbowl, as they call it, Fisher Field in a sunny Berea, Ohio. Looking out into right field, some work they have to do here at the field. It currently says 2014, 2022, and 2023 for World Series appearances for Baldwin Wallace. They got to add one more, 2026. They got there this year over in Eastlake. And speaking of that tournament, Release's starting center fielder today in Brady Olson. Yes, he is a Division III national champion with the Denison Big Red. A great season for him out of the Columbus area. And he looks to take that into the summer. Release 4-1-1 so far. Their only loss to the Mountaineer Lumber Company, the runners-up of the NABF World Series last year. He'll be in the leadoff spot now for T3. And, of course, for them getting a hot start is paramount. It is Hill, Mayville, and Poppick. Time locally in Berea, 3:55. We are ready to go for some Monday afternoon baseball, and so are these guys, as there is ball one. Beautiful facility here at Baldwin Wallace, a great place to watch a game. Just look at this facility right up against the netting. Really a prime vantage point. The 1-0 swing and a miss. On the mound today for Release, it is going to be Andrew Holcomb. A really good season for Ohio Dominican, but more on his stats in a few moments. 1-1 the count here on Hill. That time it's high. But Andrew Holcomb wearing number 22 today. The sophomore out of Walsh Jesuit High School, standing at 6'2", 200, a 1.19 ERA in his freshman season of college baseball. Here's the 2-1, swing and a miss. The whiff rate has to be key today for Release. They have a great defense, yes, but the less they test them earlier, the better. This is a team who has an NABF World Series bid on their mind, and this is a big game that can do them favors in that department. Swing and a miss, chasing the high heat, and there is out number 1. Holcomb picks up where he left off during the college season, getting his first strikeout of the game. And a good battle from him, some early adversity to go up against. In the end, brings it back, and on the year, a really good split rate of 9 walks to 33 punch-outs. That'll just continue to get better and better as the summer goes on. An absolute heater of a 2026. That time he'll miss inside for ball 1. It is Hunter Mayfield, the now rising sophomore out of Wittenberg, stepping in. Once we see him in the bottom of the first defensively, he will be out in left. Holcomb's 1-0 to the backstop. Looking at the defense today for release, it'll be Holcomb on the mound, Mighton behind the plate, Trobenner at first, Hash at second, Shags at short with Bortnick at third, and left to right in the outfield, it'll be Miller in left, DeLulo in right, and in center, Olsen, the national champion. So now 3-0 count as again he misses. It'll be Popick, the shortstop in the on-deck circle. Popick earlier on today just getting his number assignment for his team. And he wants to make an impact early on in the season. Holcomb's 3-0. It'll miss for ball 4. And it'll be a 1-out walk for Hunter Mayville. Good patience after that leadoff strikeout for Holcomb. T3 will get their first base runner of the day. And that'll bring in Popick, the shortstop. Again, just got assigned his number today. But he is ready to go after a 298 season with 34 RBIs in 2026 for Tennessee at Martin. Came in from USC Sumter. So staying in that Carolina region out of Louisville High School. And he will see strike 1 there. Not the only alumnus now of Louisville High School that we will see on either roster today. Holcomb back to work for the 0-1. And again, he connects. So 4 straight balls in the last at-bat and 2 strikes in this one. After Popick, it turns to Samarin, the first baseman. Holcomb looking for his second strikeout of the afternoon. But he'll have to wait. There's the first contact today. An interesting thing to note about this T3 roster, it is a combination of course, T3 players, but of course, some Force players and some Force coaches being added in after their group left the division after last season. Quick throwback to one not in time. Once again, the WRCL back up to 8 teams, had a dip in numbers last year, and now right back up to it with full participation this time around. Mayville, a great lead. The 0-2 is to the backstop. And Mayville will take a turn and stay at second. Pass balls are going to be a key thing today at BW. It is not a forgiving backstop by any means. Having played here myself, the bounce behind, it's less than desirable. But still manageable if you know how to play your cards right, which, of course, a lot of these guys definitely have that ability. Holcomb getting back to work now, trying to go back at Popick. His 1-2, sharp grounder over towards second. Flick on over to 1. It's going to be in time for out number 2, but Mayville now stands 90 feet away for T3. So a productive ground out for the shortstop, and that'll bring us to the number 4 hitter, Samarin. Base hit scores a run here for T3 in the top of the first. And it's a chance for the rising sophomore out of Mercyhurst. And beyond that, played his high school ball just down the road at Berea Mid-Park High School. So not too far away from home for him. And in fact, if you look over at George Finney Stadium, which in its own right is a stone skip away, that is the home of the Titans football team. Sharing that stadium, of course, with BW football. The 1-0 misses low for ball 2. In the bottom of the first inning, it'll be Trobenner, Olsen, and Mighton 1-3 due up for release as we officially hit 4 o'clock. So an earlier start than expected here, but that could definitely do both teams some favors. The 2-0 hard rip going over towards second. Bobble the throw to 1. It's going to be just in time, and the inning is over. Release able to get out of an early situation. 1 punch out so far for Holcomb, and we will flip to the bottom of the first inning, scoreless in Berea.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
From an organizational standpoint, one of the best offenses in Northeast Ohio release, getting ready to go for the first time today offensively, as it'll be 1, 2, and 3. Trobenner, Olsen, and Mighton due up as you are watching WRCL Baseball on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. Once again, I am Nathan Smee on the call for you this evening, live from Fisher Field. Always a fun time here covering some, whether they be former tops or current tops. In the leadoff spot this inning, it'll be a current top in A.J. Trobenner. After Tro again, Olsen and Mighton. So a big inning up here for release if they can play their cards right. Really interesting to see Trobenner in the leadoff spot, typically for Tri-C in that 4 spot down the stretch, as that is really when he got all of his game time for the tops. Pearson's first pitch of the day will miss wide for ball 1. Pearson, the rising sophomore out of Northwood University, no game time this past season, but plenty of big game experience. Was a part of that Final Four team last year with Walsh Jesuit, who bowed out to the eventual champions in Anthony Wayne. The 1-0 misses wide. Speaking of last year's tournament, you look at A.J. Trobenner. He was a state champion with Lake Catholic actually today, the 1-year anniversary of that win. And I'm sure he wants to try and do something similar here today, as he had some really big heroics in that game, as that one is there for strike 1. So 2-1 the count here for A.J. Trobenner. A big spot early, especially if he can become this leadoff guy going forward, as he will drill this one into left field, and it'll be caught for out number 1. Nice job tracking that one down and left, shot out of a cannon. A really good first swing from Trobenner, but no dice getting it down. And with 1 away, that'll bring us on over to Brady Olsen. As we mentioned earlier, a national champion with Denison. Of course, BW, I don't think really too happy to hear that, but still an amazing season for them, all things considered. Just impressive to see how well they have played as of late, just as a group, as an organization, really finding their stride when it matters most. It'll help them going forward. Olsen, he will fly this one into right field, but foul, and it is going to get down. So a second life given to Olsen now with a 1-1 count. This defense is going to be asked to work quite a bit today. Again, this release offense, we've seen it across the board, 15U, 17U so far this season. And even last year with 18U and some 16U teams mixed in. If you look organizationally, the best run per game averages in Northeast Ohio that we've seen, I would care to venture that release would be number 1 in that category. And they have been for a while. The 1-1 right up to the mound. Pearson will pick it. And the play is made at first for out number 2. A simple play, but a nice pitcher fielding play for Pearson on the rubber. 2 up, 2 down to begin. And here comes the catcher, L.A. Mighton. You talk about Trobenner being a state champion. You go back a few years to 2023. Mighton, a state champion with Kenston. Part of that really good Kenston squad, of course, this year, graduating the last members of that championship-winning squad. And, of course, you just look at the way that Kenston has played lately. Some good results for them, but at the same time, overall, below 500 in the past 3 seasons since that great historic win. And, of course, at that time, had some really tough matchups to get there. Was hovering just above 500 when they even made it into the OHSAA tournament. And then proceeded to go and knock off plenty of amazing teams on the way to a very unexpected state title. The 2-0, sharp grounder over towards short. Throw to 1. It is going to be in time. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Pearson and the defense. To the second we go at Fisher Field. Score remains 0-0 as you are watching the WRCL on SmeeSports.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
One inning, one combined base runner so far at Fisher Field on the campus of Baldwin Wallace University. 2 great teams going at it today, the 2 and 3 right now in the WRCL. Of course, the big reason why you compete in this tournament to get an automatic bid to the NABF World Series. Of course, the question is, outside of the Stark County Terriers, can anybody else in this division win the tournament? And for those unfamiliar with the NABF and why Stark County comes to mind outside of the fact that they are 7-1 and currently in first place, it's because the last 4 years, one of which being in the Cleveland area, the other ones being out in Youngstown, they have won the tournament. 3 years under Chris Willoughby, the now head coach over at St. Thomas Aquinas, and now 1 year of success under Reese Sabo. And in year number 2, they still look dominant. So an 0-2 count to begin here on the number 5 hitter in Ganda. It'll be the DH, followed by Howard and Young. 5 through 7 due up for the Warhawks in the top of the second. Holcomb's 0-2. Chopper going over towards third. A ranging attempt here for Bortnick, but it'll go foul in the end. And I think for Braden over at third, that'll be the best case scenario. Definitely a high hopper. Of course, you can definitely really track where the ball is going to go off the turf. But to see it happen in real time, not necessarily easy. And, of course, with the heat being a lot more than we thought it would be today, that definitely does add an extra element to it. This time it's caught on a tip for out number 1. The light swing enough to give Holcomb his second strikeout of the game. Pitching is going to be paramount for both sides. Release, they don't have as much depth as T3, and the big reason why, T3 has a full roster. The max amount of players allowed on any given team in this league is 30. And in the end, they decided to go with 30 players in total. And we'll see pretty much a whole new line later on today. It's very rare to see a quote-unquote line change in baseball. But all but 3 guys will be replaced heading into game number 2 later. And none of those guys will play in the same exact spot that they did in this game. It's really incredible just to see, of course, on top of just having T3, you do have all the Force kids. But to see that combination, it definitely is interesting. As come NABF time, that'll be great for depth. Howard just barely goes for strike 1. 2-1 count on the catcher. Howard usually wearing number 29, wearing number 3 today. The 2-1, he fouls back, and we are even. Out of Norwalk High School and out of Terrace State Community College, batted 200 this past season with a .385 on-base percentage, but did have 2 long balls in the end. 2 big home runs for him. The 2-2, swing and a miss. It's 2 up, 2 down, and now 3 punch-outs for Andrew Holcomb. Again, it comes down to pitching in a game like this on a day like this. Can you go out here and when your team needs at least 3 to 4 quality innings at the beginning, can you get it done? And of course, so far the answer for Holcomb is yes. But 2 down now as Jake Young will step in for the first time today. And Young swings and misses. A big season for Mount Union this past year for one of 2 Youngs on the roster. Of course, Cole coming out of the pen more for the Purple Raiders than anything. The 0-1 will clip him. And it'll be a free base for the freshman, now sophomore. And the interesting thing with Jake Young, he comes in, was supposed to be the number 2 catcher behind Daniel Tome. Tome, in the end, he bumps out, moves to shortstop, has an All-American season. And beyond that, you have a catcher who now is around for the next 3 seasons. 2 great guys in that core. Of course, you added another All-American this past season in Drew Denham, who now is making his way to Kent State as the quote-unquote Sawyer Saltaria replacement. I mean, I know they don't play the same position, but you look at the archetype and you look at the background, of course. Drew initially committing to Akron. The comparison is there at least, replacing a freshman Saltaria, not a sophomore Saltaria. But of course, a lot of that conversation will be left up to fall ball and spring ball to see how Denham does and wherever Saltaria ends up, how he does, as now there is a lot of buzz behind him being a first-round pick in the MLB draft next year. And oh, by the way, yes, he did play on the WRCL at one point in his career. But still 2 down as here comes the right fielder, Ben Pierce. Played for Marietta this past season after spending his freshman campaign at Tri-C. Again, throwback from Holcomb. It's close this time, but is not going to get the decision. Being very aggressive, going back to first base, trying to get Young. One of the more aggressive base-stealing catchers. Holcomb's 0-1. Pierce chops it over towards third. This one, a tough play for Bortnick, and there is no throw to make it first. It'll be the game's first hit, and after all the build-up, it'll be an infield single for Ben Pierce. And just like that, there is a runner in scoring position, 2 away for Braden Page, the second baseman. The sophomore out of Adrian played for St. Ed's High School, just like so many freshmen played for that JV roster at Adrian this past season. And of course, the goal now is to simply progress up to varsity for a top 25 team in Division III. Another team that easily could make it to Eastlake next year. And a good swing to get it going, just fouling it off towards his dugout. With that St. Edward's background, not too unfamiliar with BW, playing some home games here along with some road games against St. Ignatius. And I'm sure some other teams mixed in there too, as BW has a plethora of teams play here. The 0-1 taken for a ball. Of course, you go back a few years, Padua playing a lot of games here, opposed to at their home. Big reason why is simply the dirt that got washed out compared to a full turf field. Holcomb's 1-1 in there for strike 2. Of course, the turf being put in 2016, and that was the field dedication here at Fisher, but it took a few more years until the outfield grass was removed and replaced with turf as well. The 1-2 misses wide for ball 2. After Page, it would go to the third baseman in Lex Lear. An early chance for T3 to get on the board in the top of the second inning. But just as easily, Holcomb a chance to get out of the inning. But this ball is going to go to the backstop, and that'll put 2 runners in scoring position. So that'll avoid action on the payoff pitch. But now a base hit probably brings it to, just depending on where it is placed. So an extra incentive, so to speak, for Braden Page to knock in at least 1. Of course, then the second one more down to the runners than him. Holcomb needing this one to get out of the inning. His payoff pitch, it's low for ball 4, and the bases are loaded. So a prime opportunity now for Lex Lear in the top of the second inning, with the top of the order waiting in the on-deck circle. But looking at Lex Lear, of course, the background playing in the local area for Elyria Catholic, batted a .192 this past season for Hiram. That Hiram team right now in a little rebuild, trying to find some stride over the next couple of seasons, and with some additions like Lear, they definitely are in the right direction. And for Lex right now, until you see a strike, this is where you kind of hold off and see if he'll pitch himself out of the tie. As harsh as that may seem. The 1-0 he does chase, and he will swing and miss. A good aggressive cut, but again, yes, it was a strike. I would like to see him wait until the fight is brought to him. You see a strike, you take it. Then battle 1-1 before swinging. But instead swings here and now goes for the 1-1 and takes strike 2. So Holcomb 1 strike away from getting out of this inning. A potential turning point early on in this game. Holcomb battling back quite nicely here against Lear. His 1-2, he will take strike 3, and the side is retired. Holcomb plenty of pressure to get out of this inning and does it in the 10 spot. 3 strikeouts this inning, had 2 to begin it, and brings it back at the end after a hit by a pitch, a single, and a walk. To the bottom of the second inning we go. Scoreless thanks to some good pitching from Holcomb. When we return, Bortnick, Karhoff, and Miller, the middle 3 due up for release.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Second inning pressure does not come to pass for T3. Bases loaded, 2 down. Holcomb able to get out of the jam, bringing up 4 through 6 for release in the bottom of the inning. Pearson so far 3 up, 3 down, all of which has come on contact. His defense is doing some good work already. A put out in left from Mayville. And then you have 1 put out from himself on the mound, and a final put out from Popick at short. So 3 different defenders recording a put out early on in this one, as there is strike 1 to Braden Bortnick. As we've talked about already, plenty of Tri-C players in this game, whether they be former or current. Always good to see the tops in action. Pearson's 1-1. Bortnick takes strike 2. It's Bortnick, Karhoff, and Miller, so 2 tops, or whether they be former or current, and then an National Eagle sandwiched in between. Pearson's 1-2. Bortnick stays alive. Once again, a beautiful complex here at Fisher Field, dedicated 10 years ago with the turf, but still a nice stadium behind it. And from what I've been told, internet is coming at long last to Fisher Field. It's been too long, but better late than never. Again, the 1-2. Bortnick takes this one over towards third, but foul. And down the line it goes. Felice's coach tried making a play on it, but couldn't get there in the end. I'll say a lot more coaching fielding plays during the high school season than the collegiate season. And a lot of those guys are recent college grads, so really interesting to see it go that way. But count still 1-2 on Bortnick. Pearson trying to get around the third baseman. This time, though, misses low. So an even count, 2-2 on Bort. This past season, a .371 average with 23 RBIs and 34 games for the Tops. Of course, had some injuries during the middle part of the season. Bortnick pops up a 2-2 as again, it'll go out of play foul. And off the outhouse it goes. And somehow bounces back into the actual main bowl. Outside of course, the extra lettering needed out in right field for the World Series appearances. Lucky not to need a couple of new shingles on the roof. Really impressive to see really no gaps or any damage done to the dugouts or, well, the outhouse to our right. Great battle here from Bortnick as here's the 2-2 from Pearson. Skipping in it goes, and we are full. So a great battle here to begin the bottom of the second inning for Bortnick. Pearson wanting to close it out here still. One more time, he delivers. Bortnick takes it over towards third. Lear's throw to one will skip in, and it is going to not be in time. I believe he came off the bag, and that'll give Bortnick a really long-winded infield single. Some great hitting there from Bortnick, just great patience, had to foul off plenty of opportunities, but in the end gets the better of Pearson, and that'll give Release their first hitter of the day to come in with a runner on. Which again, for an offense this good, they operate at their best with at least one or two guys on the bases. And for Karhoff, he'll take ball one. Didn't play it all this past season for Ashland, but a 3-time All-Ohioan for Hoban a few years back. Pearson's 1-0 skips away, and that'll give Bortnick seconds. Thought about 3, in the end stays at 2. Releases opening run now in scoring position. And again, this is where they work at their best. Even if they go station to station, if Karhoff flies out here and Bortnick tags up, you have Miller and DeLulo both a chance to drive in the opening run. So a great start to this inning. They just need to capitalize. Pearson's 2-0, a good take from Karhoff. Or he stays patient here and Miller has a pair on to deal with. And for this T3 team, their defense can make plays. They just need to step up again if they have that opportunity. But it won't be for a little bit. Bortnick, though, will take off as this ball will go nearly out of play. Now, my question is, did it go out? And it looks like the question is, did he round? And the answer is no. That was the appeal. It was a good appeal. That was the right idea, as, of course, you have to define it in the ground rules. What is out of play? That one came right towards us. There is a line here, which I think is going to be the out-of-play line. If he blocked it before it, I think that's what they were looking for. And I think if that was indeed what they called it on, they got it right. But after that walk, here comes Brock Miller, a chance to put Release on the board. With this being a collegiate game still, definitely a good spot to go out and show why Indianapolis went out and recruited him this past offseason after one more year at Tri-C. But a great tenure for Brock Miller, the 2-time Lorain County Player of the Year. I'm sure it was very interesting as we talked to him about it after the Lorain County games, going up against the county that he dominated for years. Miller takes this one over towards short. One run will score. The throw to one is in time for out number 1, but Bortnick does come around. It'll be an RBI ground out for Brock Miller, putting Release on the board in the bottom of the second. Productive outs, productive hitting from Release. They'll take it, and that'll keep a runner on at second as well for DeLulo. In my opinion, pretty much best case scenario. You keep a runner on, you have a 1-run lead, and your insurance run is now in scoring position and a spot for another one of your big hitters to come in and show what he can bring to the table. And he comes out guns a-blazing, fouling that one off. So no one to count on DeLulo, the redshirt sophomore over at YSU. Played his high school ball for Poland a few years back. Did not register a hit this past season for YSU, but did go 1-for-1 on put-out opportunities. And he will take this one over towards short yet again. Popik's throw to one, lasered in for out number 2. But that'll put Karhoff now at third. Again, another productive out. With 2 away, though, Shag has to step up here. Otherwise, it'll just remain 1-0. Which still, it's a job well done. You have to score at least 1 here, and they did. They got their first run around, brought him along. But you really want to get a second out of this inning, just given how it started. Pearson just trying to keep it at 1, though, as Shag fouls it off. Grant Shag, another redshirt freshman. This one coming out of Walsh. Did not play this past season, but some good accolades going back to his high school days at Triway. Was the 2025 Pac-7 Player of the Year. The 0-1, Shag, a good take in the dirt. Looking at the T3 defense, it is Pearson on the mound. Howard behind the plate. Samarin is at first with Page at second. Popik at short and Lear at third. Left to right in the outfield goes Mayville, Hill, and Pierce. Pearson's 1-1 high to Shag. Count now 2-1. Definitely a warmer afternoon at BW's Fisher Field. Sun out at least for the next hour-ish, maybe more. The breeze definitely does help. The 2-1, Shag will take strike 2. If the inning goes beyond the shortstop, it goes to Tommy Hash, the second baseman in the on-deck circle. He will be the number 9 hitter overall for Release. T3, the big difference between them and Release, they bat 1 more in this game. Here's the 2-2. It'll be a drop third, so that will bring in a run. The throw down to 1. It is going to be in time. And now the question, did he have a swing? The answer is yes, so the inning will end there. And we will head on off to the 3rd inning here at Fisher Field.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Welcome back to Fisher Field on the campus of Baldwin Wallace University. 1-0 your score. An RBI ground out for Brock Miller puts Release on the board as you are watching WRCL Baseball on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. Holcomb goes back to work, but that time will miss for ball 1. For the Warhawks in the top of the 3rd, it'll be the top of the order in Griffin Hill, Hunter Mayfield, and JT Popik due up. Loaded the bases in the top of the 2nd inning. Couldn't do anything with it, though. 4 strikeouts so far today for Andrew Holcomb. He has been excellent on the mound. And you go back to that ratio, 9 walks to 33 strikeouts right now today, 1 walk to 4 punchies. He has been quite impressive. The 1-1, he'll miss low. And in talking to some people from Release before the game, they basically went out here and said, we have Holcomb on the mound. We're confident in this game. This whole defense buying into what he brings as this ball is laced up the middle and through into center field. That'll be a leadoff single for Griffin Hill. And that'll be the first loud base hit of the day, the first one leaving the infield for either team. Just really shows how strong both teams are defensively and how great the pitching has been. that this is really the first ball that has left the infield and has fallen. Only the second ball that has even gotten to the outfield, as Strohbenner laced one into left field that in the end was caught for out number 1 back in the first. But T3 showing some signs of life offensively again just a little bit earlier on this inning. That's the key difference. The last 2 innings, they started with a strikeout. So this time, they start off with a single, as that'll bring us back to Mayville. The 1-0 gets way ahead of it and fouls it off down the right field line. I know the last time that we saw Mayville, he was debating between baseball and hockey, and in the end goes with baseball. But a really good hockey player a few years back for St. Ed's. The 1-1 taken for strike 2. Holcomb right back to work. After pitching 22 2/3 innings this past season, earning second-team all-conference honors, he is in line for some more work this next season. And of course, it starts here. Everything we've talked about before, for your next season scholastically starts in the summer. You have a good summer, it can definitely kickstart you into a good spot come the next spring. Holcomb's 2-2. It's there for strike 3 looking. Andrew Holcomb up to 5 punch-outs on the day. And there is the first out of the third. Just brought that one to the top corner, connected perfectly. And now it goes to JT Popping, the shortstop. He grounded out to second his first time up, but has made plenty of good defensive plays at short today for T3. And this time he will foul a mask off the home plate umpire. So some good power there, just taking a load off the mask. And now it looks like release will go and check on the umpire along with T3. Does look to be okay, but of course, anytime there is a potential head injury, or in this case, more of an infraction, you want to make sure that he's okay, as the umps are just as important as the players. Ump safety and player safety go hand in hand. Does appear to be okay in the end, and I'm sure release will definitely take it, just trying to get back on the same page. They've looked good so far this inning after allowing the leadoff single. But they want to stay together and they want to stay on the same wavelength. And of course, that leadoff single could have changed that. The 0-1 just misses. Not a bad spot from Holcomb. We really haven't seen too many terrible misses or pitches that you're thinking, okay, that is just a pitch away. But he has pretty much been competitive every single time he has thrown. The 1-1 that time hangs it well too high. Looking ahead to the bottom of the third inning, it is going to be Hash, Trobenner, and Olson. 9-1-2 due up. Throw back to 1, not in time. Once again, Trobenner playing over at first base today. Easily could move behind the plate in game number 2. But we saw with Tricey as he played a number of different rules. Now time is called here as there's a slight issue on the mound. I think what happened was he engaged and the batter was not ready. So that was just simply to slow down the game just a hair. The 2-1, Poppet gets a piece of it but fouls it away. And that'll run it 2-2. After the shortstop, we'll see some air in the first baseman once again. Time here, 4:35 p.m. A beautiful night for baseball once again. Especially if it can be a little less sunny. Going forward, we can see a really nice game number 2. Holcomb's 2-2, swing and a miss. So after the leadoff single, it's 2 up, 2 down, all from the arm of Holcomb. We have not seen his defense do anything since the first. Only 2 players have recorded putouts today. Of course, you have Holcomb with his strikeouts, but Hash, a pair back in the first against the 3 and 4 hitters. Otherwise, it has been all pitching. Not too often you hear that, especially at the collegiate level. But utter domination from Holcomb so far. Speaking of what we've seen, though, in the summer, a player just having a great campaign, Ty Dennison. Right place, right time, of course, in that regional tournament for Mount Union. Had a great summer with the Terriers and went out and was the bona fide ace for Mount Union. Of course, then you have some high school guys going out there having some really good campaigns and transferring it over to their high school teams. It's easier said than done. Of course, it doesn't necessarily transfer as tournament ball. It's, hey, can you go out here and Thursday through Sunday, play your best ball compared to college or high school ball. Hey, we have conference early on in the week. We're having some non-conference late. Can you be consistent Monday through Sunday? Or in most cases, Saturday. Runner goes here, pitch is low, and there is no challenge from Lighton. That ball just got away from him, and that'll put a runner in scoring position for T3. A chance for Sumerian to knock in the tying run in the third. Of course, with the release showing plenty of signs of aggression going forward, you don't want to give them a chance to go out and extend their lead before you have a chance to even break into it, as there is ball four. So good battle here. The leadoff hitter able to move up, and then a 2-out walk brings back in Ganda. Of course, for Ganda, his main key is redemption. Struck out his first time up. That's 2 down once again. Runners on, and plenty of runners on with 2 away. Just interesting to see how this works out for T3, where they struggle early on in the inning, but at the end, they start to put the pieces together and are quickly knocking on the door. But that'll only do them so good if they don't get something here. After Ganda, it turns to Kevin Howard, the catcher. But Ganda, wearing number 34, a rising sophomore out of Highland High School. Batted 176 with a double this past season for Tiffin. Swings that time at the 2-0 and fouls it back. A lot of players looking for some more varsity game time after the summer. And in especially the Adrian guys' case, they're just looking to be on that varsity roster. So a 1-2 count on Ganda. Holcomb to get out of the inning. Yes, the side is retired. Back-to-back innings, 3 strikeouts for Holcomb, up to 7 on the day. He has been dealing through 3. To the bottom of the inning we go. It's Hash, Trobenner, and Olsen. 9-1-2 due up for release at BW.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
T3 once again looking dangerous with 2 away in the top of the third. 2 on, 2 down. No damage done. A combined 5 runners stranded across the last 2 innings. And now as we head here to the bottom of the third, a big spot for release to try and extend on this 1-0 lead. Of course, that lead coming courtesy of Brock Miller. First pitch to Hash, low for ball 1. Tommy Hash wearing number 6 today, the rising sophomore out of Aurora High School and Ohio Northern. Still looking to make his debut for the Polar Bears out of the OAC. So 1-1 count here on the number 9 hitter. 2 putouts today for him defensively. Outside of that, the rest of the 7 coming courtesy of Andrew Holcomb. Just utter domination from him. And of course, you look at the big picture, if it stays this way, in line for player of the game honors. And with ease. The 1-1 high and out. And of course, with our player of the week series, we do it differently as we were supposed to have 7 more games than we actually had this past week. Of course, Saturday, things beyond our control canceled the game. And on Sunday, well, hit about tornadoes, so we weren't really going to risk that one. So today we'll count for this past week. Swing and a miss from Hash, now 2-2. And of course, we do have our polls up right now for the player of the week from last week. A lot of great candidates, including 2 players from Release, and Bobby Berglund and Matt McKee. Always a fun series, and of course, a lot of domination from our main teams, as you would expect. The 2-2 just taken outside. Good idea from Hash, leaving that one, and we are full. In the on-deck circle, or now off to our right, it's AJ Trobenner. No real defined on-deck circle here at BW, just kind of wherever they feel like going. Pearson's payoff low for ball 4, and Hash will take his base. Did a nice job there to draw that one full, and then in the end, take his base. The second walk surrendered today by Pearson. And now time is called as Howard will go and have a word with his pitcher. Once again, stick with us for game number 2 to follow. Release and T3 looking for a big win. 1 win or 2 wins on the day, just depending on where things stand. Of course, the main thing on both teams' mind is a bid to the NABF World Series. On paper, as things stand, if they just continue to dominate the way they have, T3 will have to go and get some big wins if they are to not fall, as the B2 Bulls are picking up sting. Of course, the Mountaineer Lumber Company, they whittle their way in. No rhyme or reason. They could probably be 0-10 and find a way in. They have the last 2 years and a great chance for them to do it again. But a Release pretty comfortably as of right now in that 2 spot as Trobenner steps in. A game and a half ahead right now of T3, of course, with a couple of wins today. That just really exacerbates, and from there, the 1A, 1B is defined, and then from there, you hope to get the Terriers on a not-so-good day to take at least one, if not both, away from them. Of course, for T3, you look at the bottom of where things are in that 5 spot with the Lumber Company. You do have the winless Travelers for the Lumber Company on the last day of the season. If they need 2 wins, they have a good chance to get them. Trobenner swings high at the 2-0. But once again, the goal is simple. Take out the Stark County Terriers after they have had a 4-year reign. But the auto bid, a really nice touch opposed to the WRCL tournament. Trobenner takes it over towards third. A nice pickup over there for 1 out at 2. The return to second as well as there. A beautifully turned 5-4-3 double play for the first 2 outs of the inning. Lear, Page, and Samarin turned it perfectly. That ball was definitely not easy to take in over at third. Had to kind of bring it up nearly chest level. Brought it in, and from there able to flick it around the diamond and get 2 massive outs. Of course, you clear the bases, but beyond that, you got to take away some momentum from Release. Olsen trying to make this not a 1-2-3 inning on paper. And a good take there for ball 1, as this one will skip towards the backstop. In the 4th for T3, it'll be Howard, Young, and Pierce. 6 through 8 due up, as a lot of talents there, a lot of power, as T3 looks to battle back in this game, which, as far as WRCL games go, this is about the best that we have seen. Typically, a team kind of stays in it early on, and then from there you have that one big inning, but I'd be surprised if we see that one big inning going forward. The 2-0 again gets to the backstop. Olsen 0 for 1 today, grounding out to Pearson back in the bottom of the 1st. But a good defensive battle here today. 4-1-1 versus 3-3-1. Pearson's 3-0. Olsen will swing, sends this one into shallow right center field. And this ball is going to be tracked down and caught to retire the side. A 1-2-3 inning on paper, of course, helped out by the 5-4-3 double play. And Popik in the end brings that one in to make it a clean sweep for the infield. Off to the 4th we go. Score remains 1-0. Release hanging on in Berea.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Andrew Holcomb has been absolutely dominant for Release so far today. A total of 7 strikeouts. And on paper, he does have the last 6. Had 2 back in the first inning with the last 2 innings. All strikeouts for Release as they get back to work here with a swing and miss. A lot of whiffs definitely helping out his case so far. But other than that, he has really come as advertised. Was a really hyped up player this past season for his collegiate group. And he has taken that success from Ohio Dominican on here to Release. And there's strike 2. With the lineage going through many of the religious groups, going from the Jesuits to the Dominicans. A really good stint as well at Walsh, a great player for them a few years back. His 0-2, a drive into deep right field, and it is going to be tracked down for out number 1, and the first out recorded by the defense of Release since the first. And beyond that, I believe the first out recorded by the outfield today for Release. Out there, that was DeLulo getting some action. Only the second combined put out by an outfielder today across the board. Otherwise, everything has been pretty much kept in-house in the infield. A lot of that, of course, does go down to Pearson, and Holcomb's pitching. I'm sure for Holcomb right now, he just wants to go out here, and if this is pretty much the typical 4-inning outing that we see in the WRCL, he wants to go out here and make this last inning his best. The 0-1 misses high. But of course, with the Release coming back, they do have a good pitching rotation. They do like to switch in and out of their guys. But it's early on in the season. Do you get them 5 or 6 innings? The 1-1 popped up, and it is going to go foul. And that one just sneaks out of play. A nice crash across the board. I believe Trobenner saw it the best. Playing down at first base in game number 1, but you cannot take away those catcher instincts from number 9 down there. Once again, really the story of the second half of the season. Didn't play at all for Tri-C. Had 1 good round of batting practice, and Coach Kaplik said, you know what, that's my guy. And going forward, he was that guy for Tri-C. 3 home runs, all of which came against Bryan and Stratton in the first round of regionals. The 1-2 from Holcomb misses high. So far today, Jake Young is 0 for 0 with a hit by a pitch. And from what we've heard, he will be the starting catcher in game number 2 for T3. One of 3 guys sticking around. This time, he will get jammed up on the infield, and it'll be caught on the mound by Holcomb for out number 2. A good job forcing him to kind of pop out into a bad spot. It's 2 up, 2 down again, and still only 2 hits today for the Warhawks, one of which coming back in for his second cuts in Ben Pierce. The other being Griffin Hill at the top of the order. But a lot of infield knocks, really not too many big hits today, if any. I believe only one hit has gotten down in the outfield today for either team. Kind of expected a pitcher's duel in this one, but maybe not to the extent that we have seen. There is a pitcher's duel, and then there is just utter pitcher domination. And that's what we've seen, especially from Holcomb. The 0-1 will miss inside. As for the offense, it'll be Mighton, Bortnick, and Karhoff trying to help out. Really a great outing from Holcomb, but far from done. The 1-1 low in the dirt. But once again, as I've been saying, not only today, but just all summer in general, to have a good season, it starts in the summer. Have a good summer, it could easily translate. Ground ball this time going over towards second glove. The throw to one will bounce in, and it's not in time. Even if Strohbenner got there, I don't think Hash's throw would have beaten Pierce down. So he is now 2 for 2 on the day with a pair of infield knocks. And that'll bring up Braden Page, the second baseman. So far with 2 away, 5 runners out of a possible 6 have been left stranded over the past 2 innings from T3. And it looks like some of their players for game number 2 are starting to pull in, as it'll be pretty much a whole new lineup. Again, I'm not really a big hater of that. I think especially once you come to the NABF time, you can bring all 30 guys, and from there, rotate them as much as you want, keep everybody fresh, and the key thing, you'll have a pitching rotation that rivals a Division III or, in some cases, even a Division I organization. Especially when it comes down to tournament ball, which, of course, the regular season is league play. Pitching is going to be crucial, even more so than it is now. The 1-1 fouled over towards T3's dugout. And among players pulling in, it'll be a big man coming out of Lorain County Community College in Leo Soneson. A really good season for the Commodores. Runner goes on the 1-2, but it's swung on and missed. Holcomb again gets a strikeout, has had at least 1 in every inning so far, and through 4 has 8. To the bottom of the 4th we go. Mighton, Bortnick, and Karhoff 3 through 5 due up for release as they look to add on to their 1-0 advantage.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
LA Mighton looks to kickstart releases offense in the bottom of the 4th inning. As well, it is worth noting there is some stretching and tossing going on now in the visitors' bullpen for T3 as they look to potentially get to the next inning with Pearson on the mound. However, during the warm-up period, 2 balls did go to the backstop out of the 5. So we'll see what this offense can do against that, and if the call has to be made, who then would come in for this T3 squad as they try to keep this one at 1-0 if possible. And again, that ball goes to the backstop. We saw it during the warm-up period. Just needs to find the strike zone or at least find the glove. You get a runner on and the ball just continues going back there. It's only a matter of time before Release easily scores. This time, Mighton takes matters into his own hands and fouls this one off down the third base line. I do like that Release is bringing the fight to T3. If you sit back and wait for something that is probably not going to come, you're going to be stuck at 1-0. And I would say odds are that probably wouldn't be enough to win this game. Even if it is, I don't think you bet the mortgage that it is. Mighton nukes this one deep to center field, and it'll be tracked down just in front of the wall. A good catch in center for out number 1 from Hill. But Mighton got plenty of good swing behind it. Absolutely barreled it as that ball easily, with a little bit of wind, could have gotten down for extra bases. But again, my point, you're bringing the fight to this team. You're not sitting back waiting for them to give you something to hit. If it's close, you swing. And maybe that swing will be the bit of confidence this Release offense has been looking for. But for Pearson, that'll definitely help him out. One out closer to bringing this one to the 5th as Bortnick will offer. After Bortnick, it is Karhoff and Miller. This is about the part of the lineup, or in fact, this is the part of the lineup that got it done the first time around, putting Release on the board back in the second. And now 1-1 as again that ball will go to the backstop. I would venture to guess that this will be the last inning that we do see Josh Pearson, but he hasn't been bad so far, keeping this one at bay against, again, I would say organizationally, top to bottom, one of the best offenses, if not the best offense in Northeast Ohio. I'm pretty sure if we average it up, of course, among qualified teams, so to speak, as if we saw an organization that dropped 20 in one game, that would skew the numbers, but average it out at the end of the summer, Release would probably end up in first place in this made-up competition. Just so many good hitters, no matter what team it is. And the home run hitting power, of course, is the scariest part of it. But a 2-2 count here on Bortnick with 1 down. So far today, 1-for-1 with an infield knock after a great battle back in the second. Trying to do it again in less pitches. The 2-2, he will take it into right field, but directly to Pierce for out number 2. Again, another good swing, a lot of good contact, just directly to the outfield. And after the ball, taking a hiatus from going to the outfield, goes back to back. First time in center, second time in right. And now everybody in the outfield has at least one put out today. And in fact, they're perfect. Everybody 1-for-1. And now here comes Andrew Karhoff, who walked his first time up. 2 up, 2 down as Karhoff takes ball 1 inside. For T3 in the top of the 5th, it'll be Lear, Hill, and Mayville due up 10-1 and 2. Once again, just trying to battle back in this game. They're still there. They just need their offense to have one good inning. Of course, easier said than done, especially if Holcomb does remain in the game. I would say T3's best bet to win this game is forcing Holcomb out, which of course could be done via a number of things, pitch count, innings pitched, you name it. It is summer ball. This isn't a Division III World Series. So 3-0 count now on Karhoff with Miller on the odd neck circle. Grounded out his first time up, but brought in the game's only run, which as things stand is a massive run. And for Pearson, if he walks him here, that could be it. But Karhoff will take it into center field himself and drops it in. It's a 2-out single for Andrew Karhoff, lined into center field. And that'll give Brock Miller a chance here to drive him in, or at least move him along. The power, it's here for Release. It has been here all day. When I got here at around 2 o'clock, some of the younger age groups were here taking some swings. These guys, they live in the cage and they live for offense. This is where they have to live for some runs as well. And for Brock Miller, no better time than now. But a good take high for ball 1. He looked down that right field line. Easier said than done, an Apo Taco, but you get that ball down the line in a hurry. Karhoff at least is on third, if not home. The 1-0 taken for a strike. This past season, a solid campaign for Brock Miller out of Tri-C. Batted .297 with 26 RBIs, 11 doubles, 1 triple, and 12 stolen bases in 46 games. Played the majority of their games as Tri-C one up their performance from last year, making it to the regional championship game against Kellogg, and the end bowing out to the #1 team in the nation. Pearson's 2-1, bounces in. Karhoff thought about moving, but a nice block from Howard keeps him at first. Next it would go to DeLulo, the right fielder. And again, I think just based on where we are in the game and where we are with the warm-up, I wouldn't be surprised to at least see a conversation for Pearson. Release up by 1, but it feels like they've controlled this game pretty much from the beginning. Miller gets aggressive on the 3-1, fouls it away, and we will do it 3-2 now. Two big battles. Pearson trying to get 4 innings complete. Miller looking to extend the 4th and potentially give Release their cushion. Looking for that all-important insurance run. Karhoff goes, payoff pitch. Miller takes ball 4. So the inning will continue to DeLulo. And this is where DeLulo has a chance, even more so than Miller did, to drive in Karhoff. And I think if this ball is put anywhere down in the outfield, you have to send him home. You really haven't had this good of a chance to score in a while. And of course, the only run you scored today was an RBI groundout. This game very reminiscent of Alliance West Branch 2 seasons ago now. A 1-0 game where a sac fly was the difference. Two pitchers pitched great games altogether. And the offense really couldn't get anything going, or if they did, they put runners on, just couldn't bring anybody along. And of course, for Release, they don't want to join the list of plenty of stranded runners so far today. We saw it with Release, rather T3 a few innings ago. 5 of the 6 possible bases were occupied when the inning was over. Bases loaded the first time around, then 2 on with 2 away. You just have to convert, especially once you get to July and you get to the tournament at Munson. You have to convert on the chances that you get, especially at this collegiate level. The 0-1 will go to the backstop. So that'll make things a lot easier for DeLulo if he gets a ball down. Really takes the guesswork as to if Karhoff will score or not if the ball is put in the outfield. Now the question becomes, would Miller? At this point in the game, a 2 RBI single would pretty much blow it open. You'd feel pretty confident with where you were, but at the same time, you still want just a little bit more. Pearson's 1-1, swing and a miss. And just like that, Josh Pearson is 1 strike away from ending the inning. Again for T3, you have the bottom and Lear and then the top of the order coming up. If you are to tie it or take the lead, your best chance is going to be in the top of the 5th going forward. Pearson's 1-2, DeLulo, a poke over towards first and foul in the end. That was the way you have to play it. I think if you overcommit there and it does somehow find its way into fair territory, that'd be a terrible way to give up a run. Of course, if you do catch it, the inning's over and it takes the guesswork out of this next pitch because it wouldn't exist. But it's just too difficult of a risk to take. And D3 down by 1 with 2 runners queued up. Not in a spot to take that risk. The 1-2, swing and a miss. Pearson does get out of the inning. He gets his 2nd strikeout. And through 4 innings, the score will remain 1-0. A great defensive battle. Pearson and Holcomb going pitch for pitch. Holcomb will stay in the game on the mound in the 5th for Release when we return to Fisher Field.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Defense continues to reign supreme as we enter the top of the 5th inning. 1-0. A great battle altogether. An RBI ground out for Brock Miller, the difference, as you are watching WRCL Baseball on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. What a game today for both teams. Pearson, 2 strikeouts for him today. As for Holcomb, he has 8. And I'm sure one of the big goals for him today, and at least this inning, just based on how he has pitched so far, get up to 10 if possible. And that'll help swing and a miss from Lex Lear. Once again, up next, it'll be game number 2 of this doubleheader beginning at around 6 o'clock. But still, plenty of game to play here. The 0-1 Lear takes it low. For T3, this is where they really have to dig in, especially the guys who are only playing 1 game today. Give every bit of effort that you have left to try and walk out of here with the desired result, which is still definitely possible. And as I said last inning, your best chance to win from here on out is going to be getting Holcomb out of the game. Face a new arm and go from there. But if he stays in, you have to find a way to catch up. Or in this case, just be patient. So a 3-1 count on Lear. You have the top of the order coming up. You've seen 3 base hits today, none of which leaving the infield. A leadoff runner with the walk would be best case scenario. And you will get it. There's ball 4 to Lear. 4 straight balls after the strike to get it going. And now a chance for Griffin Hill to come in and move him along. If you can at least be scrappy and force across a run in the 5th, you'll take it. Then you just need your defense to settle in. It just depends on if Pearson is your guy on the mound or not, which I think based on the warm-ups that we saw, the answer to that question will be no. But I wouldn't necessarily hate bringing out Pearson with a really short leash. Of course, it depends on if you can tie up this game here or not. Your tactics going forward are really going to simply be influenced by if you can score here or not. And of course, if you do, the whole game really flips. That's just a back and forth to see who can strike. The 0-1 hangs high. And of course, this season, we have seen an unprecedented amount of ties in the WRCL. It just shows how even the competition has really become. But a tie really does both of these teams no good going forward. Lear's going to break here, pitches inside, throw down to second. The tag is not in time. Mighten a good throw, but Lear will have the stolen base. So a 1-2 count, but even if this is the end of the road for Griffin Hill, you have to be very pleased with that one. Release moves up at least 90 feet, or rather T3 moves up at least 90 feet. And we'll see if it stays there or not. Chopper going right back to the mound. The throw to 1 is in time, but Lear now stands at third. The definition of a productive out for Griffin Hill. 1 down, but Lear 90 feet away from tying this game up at 1 in the top of the 5th. It's Hunter Mayville's turn, a walk and a strikeout looking for him today. Just needs to get this ball somewhere in the outfield as the infield comes in for release. They want to try and cut off that run if he does come home. Of course, at the same time, Ellie Mighten a lot of pressure on him to keep everything in front. A ball to the backstop most likely ties up this game as well. The 1-0 fouled back. Not necessarily the ball in mind that we had to the backstop, as that one will just reset it with a 1-1 count. A lot of good contact from T3 in the last couple of innings, getting more and more aggressive. Holcomb back to work. Sharp ground ball up the middle. They will throw home. The play at the plate is wide. T3 has tied it, and Mayville will take off for second where he will stop. All it took was 1 play to go in favor of T3, and we are tied in the top of the 5th inning. Just a wayward throw home. An aggressive play from Lear to try and come around. In the end, it works out perfectly. Now for T3, it's the go-ahead run in scoring position. Mighten just couldn't knock that ball down, and for Mayville, of course you take that base. It's a no-brainer. And now it's JT Popick stepping in 0 for 2. But if he can change his fortunes here, T3 can really flip the script. Holcomb dials it back in and finds strike 1. If today ends with a Holcomb no decision, I feel like that would be just so unfair given how well he has pitched for this release team. But of course, the sport of baseball can definitely be cruel, as a win is far from a given. And I think we saw it out of, I believe it was Bybee. I think it took him 13 outings to get a win this year for the Guardians. Wasn't pitching terribly either. Popek takes the 1-1 for strike two, a lower offering, but still does get the nod. In the on-deck circle after Popek, it'll go over to Samarin. What a time for T3, scoring a run on a wayward throw home. Can they keep it going? Popek plays this one over towards third. Throw over to one. It is going to be in time for out number two, and Mayville will stay put at second. An excellent job looking back the runner over at third. That's how Bortnick has to play that one. Just look him over and make sure he doesn't go. And that is one of those wasted outs. But still a chance for Sumerian, a walk on a ground out today. If he can get a base knock here, T3 does have a chance to get their first lead of game number one. As things stand, a game and a half back of release in the WRCL standings for second place. But all you need is top four when it's all said and done after July 19th to make it to the NABF World Series. Back pick down to second. It's going to get into center field. Mayville dives on in and will stop at third. That one easily could have made it 2-1. Lighton had the right idea, trying to catch him sleeping down at second. But in the end, nearly just gave away the tie. This one's definitely getting interesting in the top of the fifth. And I'm sure it'll be the same going into the bottom of the inning as well, if not more interesting. Here's the 1-1, and that one will miss. As well, stick with us after our final commercial break in game number one, as we will announce our player of the game, presented to you by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. As always, plenty of good players up for that award. I'm looking ahead to after game number two. Our next broadcast will be tomorrow, a doubleheader at the Locked In High School Summer League. Rhodes and Warrensville gets us going at 6 o'clock. And then at 7, it is Massillon Jackson and Lutheran West. The 2-2 popped foul. And out of play it goes. Over towards the dorms right behind us. With VW being spread out as it is, a lot of housing just kind of thrown all over the place on this campus, and including behind the baseball field. The 2-2 high and out for ball three, and we are full. Now, I'll tell you what, it would be completely out of the way, but at Mount Union, if I could live right behind the baseball field, I would. Just to hear the crack of the bat in the morning would be a really nice sound to wake up to. Payoff pitch again, flown foul towards the parking lot behind. And out of play it goes. Sumerian, a good battle here for the T3 Warhawks. A 245 average with 33 RBI, 7 doubles, 2 triples, 4 home runs, and 5 stolen bases, and 20-26 for the Lakers. Again, the payoff pitch. Again, foul. And one more time, we will see a 3-2 offering from Holcomb. And I wouldn't be surprised if this will be his last inning of work. He has battled quite well today, but his offense needs to pick him up one more time at least. This one again goes down the left field line and foul. I would say it's a payoff pitch again, but until we have a definitive winner, it is just another 3-2. This is the kind of at-bat that'll knock a pitcher out of a game. If you're close to a pitch count, this is the absolute worst thing you want to see. But still a chance for Holcomb to get out of this. This one will be playable. Ground ball over towards second. The throw to one will keep it at 1-1. Hash makes the play, and we will turn to the bottom of the fifth inning. But T3 capitalizes on a mistake from the defense. They bring in one. It's a new ball game here at Fisher Field.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Tie ball game and new pitcher on the mound for T3 in the bottom of the fifth inning. It'll be Ethan Taylor, the rising sophomore out of Midview High School and Lorain County Community College, getting the nod here, trying to nail it down for the Warhawk defense against the bottom two in Shag and Hash. And then at the top with A.J. Trobenner. A throwing mistake. The difference right now between a 1-0 and a 1-1 ball game. Setting a 1-1 release, trying to retake their lead. But there is strike one. Taylor most likely will try to go out here and finish out the remaining 3 innings of game number 1. And from there, depending on what happens, could have to go to extras. The 0-1 swing and a miss. But again, we have seen our fair share of ties this season in the WRCL, but I do have a feeling in game number 1 we will have a definitive answer as to which team is the better of the two. At least in this exercise. The 0-2, Shag will take it for ball 1. This is where you have to be at your best, and again, it goes back to what I've been saying. Especially for a guy like Shag playing in the transfer portal, show why somebody should take a chance on you and sign you. Of course, coming out of Walsh, a good amount of training there, just didn't get the opportunity this season. It depends on where he can go and who will take that chance. That is, of course, the scariness right now of the portal itself. Very volatile. The 2-2, swing and a miss. It'll skip in. It'll be a drop third, and the drop has been rectified. So just a third strike in general now, as there is the easy put out from Howard for out number 1. Dating back to last inning, back-to-back strikeouts with the first of the day for Ethan Taylor. It'll be interesting if he brings out more of a strikeout approach in comparison to Pearson. Of course, going forward, the strikeouts is definitely helpful, as all it takes is one ball getting down and rolling to change the dynamic of an inning. Good poke over towards short. Again, it's going to be Popick, and his throw is missiled in for out number 2. T3's offense about ready to go again with Ganda, Howard, and Young 5 through 7 due up in the 6th. But after a 1-0 game for quite a while, we finally get our second run, and it really does feel like T3 does have that advantage until release can figure it out, which definitely they have the ability to do. And I wouldn't be surprised if they figure it out soon. Trobenner takes ball 1 off the plate. A really good season for A.J. Trobenner at Tri-C. Batted .422 with 2 doubles, 3 triples, for the 3 home runs, 20 RBIs, and 4 stolen bases in 23 total games. Again, really didn't play much early in the season. Earned his way into the starting lineup in a really crowded catching room. And looks to be their number 1 going into 2027. Here's Taylor's 1-1. Trobenner fouls it off. Kind of 1-2 on the now rising sophomore at Tri-C. And again, 1 year after winning a state title with Lake Catholic in Division IV. Taylor looking for a 1-2-3 inning. And he will have to wait a good take from Trobenner. Time locally now 5:21. Of course, started this game a few minutes early. So about an hour and a half in as things stand. But only 2 combined runs. Kind of running full on Trobenner. After him, it goes to Olson, the center fielder, 0 for 2 so far. The question is, will we see him at the top of the 6th, in the bottom of the inning, or the bottom of the 5th? At the bottom. Payoff pitch, fouled away. So once again, we'll see it from Taylor. I'd be surprised if we see another arm thrown this game from T3. They rostered a total of, I believe, 12 guys for this game, and the rest are coming in for game number 2. So we'll see what they go with. Again, the payoff, swing and a miss from Trobenner, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Taylor. 2 strikeouts this inning and a ground out sandwiched in between. Off to the 6th inning we go. For T3, 5 through 7 due up, beginning with Peyton Ganda when we return to Fisher Field.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Holcomb's day for release will be done. 5 innings of work, a really solid outing with 8 punch-outs, but it'll be a no decision in the end as he tosses it over to Colin Lang in the top of the 6th inning. 1-1 your score here at Fisher Field as you are watching WRCL Baseball on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. Once again, I am Nathan Smee on the call for you this afternoon, turning into evening in Berea, Ohio. The sun's starting to kind of cascade over the diamond more than us behind the plate off towards the third base side. So it looks to be a beautiful night for baseball. One more game to go after this game number 2 of this doubleheader. Should be a good matchup, of course, depending on what happens here. Could be a bigger matchup for whichever team loses. Grounder going over towards second. Hash's throw is on the money. Trobenner able to just hang on for out number 1. And this is where both teams look to make quick work of the opposing offense. Of course, for release, if you turn around and play at least one, if not a few, in the bottom of the inning, All of a sudden, you're 3 outs away from getting a pivotal win, your 5th of the season. And just like that, you are 2 wins behind the Stark County Terriers. Which, of course, you want to win the WRCL regular season, but it doesn't really do you anything when you finally get to the NABF World Series. Pretty much you play this just to go and see if you have enough to go out there and compete in that tournament. As of right now, I believe 9 teams will be in the NABF come late July, 4 of which will be decided by the standings in the WRCL. So we're going to miss on the 1-0. It'll be Kevin Howard stepping in for the 3rd time today. A strikeout and a flyout to right for him. Again, no crazy contact today from either side, just a lot of infield singles and a lot of infield contact. Langs 1-1 misses high. And if this is the way game number 2 is going to go as well, both defenses are going to have to be ready, especially T3, as they will have a bunch of different guys in new positions going out and playing a team that they're unfamiliar with, so to speak. The 2-1 is inside for ball 3. After Howard, it goes to Young. But for T3, if you can score here and put the pressure on release with 6 outs remaining to go and score at least 1, if not 2, that would be the ideal situation, especially considering you scored the last run in this game. Howard, though, takes the 3-1 just at the top of the zone for strike 2, and we are full. Once again, if we play on and this game does end in a tie, I wouldn't be terribly surprised. Here's the payoff pitch. It's wide for ball 4. So a 1-out walk for Howard. That'll bring up Young and a chance to move up the go-ahead run for T3 in the 6th. And as I've been saying, and I will continue to say, the way that game number 2 is viewed by both teams is pretty much riding on how this game finishes. If Release wins, there's more pressure on T3 to go out there and win game number 2. Vice versa, then, of course, the opposite applies for both. If T3 wins, Release would have more pressure, especially considering that they only have a 1.5 game lead on the Warhawks. 2 wins here for T3, and they would bump up to 2nd in the division. The 1-0 is high. And, of course, you assume then the B2 Bulls and a couple of the teams below them continue to struggle, otherwise you might be in free fall even outside of the playoff spots. The 2-0 easily there for strike 1. And once again, only a total of 3 teams 500 or better entering play today in the WRCL out of 8 squads. 2 of 3 are here today, and that number could go down to 2 if Release does get the win. Of course, that would mean a 3-4-1 T3 team, which would then battle to back to 500 if they can in game number 2. But just interesting to see how top-heavy it has been this year. Stark County dominating, and same with the Release so far, combined 2 losses. And there is ball 4 to Young. So back-to-back walks from Lang, as that'll bring in Ben Pierce. 2 infield hits for him today. If he can take one into the outfield, this game could definitely officially flip. I said it last inning, and I think it's still applicable. You can feel the momentum is more with T3 than it is with Release right now. And I'm not saying it's going to stay that way, but you scored the last run. You have, I would say, more incentive to score the next and more pressure to do so. You battled back into this game after having no offense for the first 4 innings of the day. You don't want that to be for nothing in the end. Lang's 1-0, again taken for a ball. Once more, as I kind of mentioned it earlier, unless he gives you a strike, you do not swing. But of course, if Pierce gets one he likes, he has been the hot bat today in the lineup. Thought about that one and does the right thing and takes it. It's a tough one again. 2 for 2 with 2 infield hits. Do you go out there and swing, or do you wait for something better? And now that it's a 2-1, I feel like he has more liberty to go out there and swing. Or in this case, take to make it 3-1. I think T3 would rather him put a ball in play than walk. But it works just as good in the end. All that matters is that they have a 2 next to their name after this inning. But there is ball 4 to Pierce. It's high, and the bases are loaded with 3 consecutive walks. So now a chance for Braden Page, the second baseman. A walk and a strikeout for him. And it looks like Mighton will go and have a word with his pitcher. But for Page, the sophomore out of Adrian College and St. Ed's High School, what a spot for him. JV this past season, you go out here and you put on some good film in the summer. That's how you fast track your route to the varsity group, a top 25 team in the nation as well. That's the big thing, especially with Adrian. A really good Division III outfit. If you can find your way into the varsity mix as a sophomore, it's impressive. Once again, it starts here. And for Colin Lang as well, a big spot as he is currently in the portal, transferring out of Hillsdale. Going into his junior year of college, the graduate of St. Ignatius. The 0-1 Page takes it high. So a collegiate and partially removed version of the Holy War. Ignatius on the mound and St. Ed's in the batter's box. Lang's 1-1. Page takes it wide for ball 2. For release in the 6th, it'll be Brady Olson, Elliot Mighton, and Braden Bortnick 2 through 4 due up. So they do have the heart of the order coming up if necessary. The 2-1 high. 1 ball away from T3 coming back to take a 2-1 lead in the 6th. What a turnaround that would be for this group. They've battled hard to get here. But they will have to wait. Count now full. A good recovery from Lang. It's all to play for here with the 3-2 pitch. A walk, it's 2-1. A strikeout. The dynamic of this inning changes. Lang's payoff pitch. Fouled away, so we will do it again. Right into the heart of the tree. But once again, you have one guy battling to try and find a home next year, and one guy trying to make his college his home. Once more, Lang, the payoff pitch. It'll be wide for ball 4, and T3 has taken the 2-1 lead at the top of the 6th. Excellent patience from Page. He drives in a run. Lear will step in, and time is now called. A tough one there for Lang, just couldn't settle in. His 4th consecutive walk, and now the question is, does he remain in the game? His infield will be in with him, and it looks like his day will be done. So when we return, the call to the bullpen will be made by release as they look to battle back now. But right now, they just need to keep this one where it's at. 2-1 your score, top of the 6th inning. No offense through 4, but T3 has figured it out in the home stretch of Game 1 of this doubleheader.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Bases loaded, one down, top of the sixth inning. T3 has taken their first lead of the day. 2-1 your score here at Fisher Field. First pitch there for strike one to Lex Lear. His goal is simple. Drive in as many runs as you can with one swing. Or if not, walk in one. The 0-1 swing and a miss. And a great start to life on the mound here for Brock Miller. Coming in from left field to try and nail it down in the sixth. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think he pitched at all at Tri-C. Here's the 0-2, and this one is going to go to the backstop, and that'll be potentially an insurance run, and it will be. A heavy reverb right back to Mighton, just couldn't get it out of the hand in time, and that'll make it 3-1. It's not the cleanest way of getting the job done, but it does get the job done at the same time. A 2-run advantage for T3. And for Lear, a new life. And for him, it is the top of the order, so a chance for the heart of this T3 order to go in and do some more damage. The 1-2 taken for ball two. Again, Lear, a solid campaign out of Hiram. Batted a $192 with a double and an RBI and 2 stolen bases. Still plenty of room for him to improve at the collegiate level. That time, though, swings and misses for out number 2. First strikeout of the day for Miller. And we will go back to the top now with Griffin Hill, the center fielder. A single groundout and a strikeout so far. 1 for 3 today in game number 1. Still 2 runners in scoring position for the Warhawks, already plating to this inning. And already in the driver's seat to take home this pivotal WRCL victory. Of course, T3 made it to the NABF World Series last year, but did not have enough players to really play in that tournament. Bowed out after day number 1. The 0-1 will miss high. But you look at this team now, you add in the Force kids being combined. You'll have a group next year, and even this year, that can go out and potentially be the team to end Stark County's reign. The 1-1 perfectly in there for strike 2. And of course, with Greg Turbovich as the GM, they take it really seriously. That has become their pride and joy, so to speak, winning the NABF World Series. And again, they have a really talented roster this year. Hill fouls that one back, and he will stay alive. Once again, release will have 2 through 4. Olsen, Mighton, and Bortnick due up in the bottom of the 6th. Needing 2 to tie, 3 to take back their lead. Miller's 1-2. Nice block there from Mighton. Just going forward, you need the offense to come in and find their energy again. Or really just get some good swings to drop. The 2-2 wide, and we are full. So a 3-2 count on Hill. It is Mayville in the on-deck circle. But for T3, already 2 runs this inning. Still, they don't want to strain anymore. But the payoff pitch swung and tipped back, and that is the 6th. Miller able to get out of it. 2 punch outs for him, but the damage already done by T3 as they will plate a pair. To the bottom of the 6th we go. Score now 3-1 in favor of the Warhawks.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
For the first time today, T3 will be playing with a lead as we enter the bottom of the 6th inning. Taylor now in line for the win. 3-1 your score as the Warhawks on top of release, as there is the swing and miss from Olsen. 2 through 4 due up Olsen, Mighton, and Bortnick. You have 6 outs to play within game number 1. You lose this one, you have to win game number 2 to remain in second place in the WRCL. The 0-1 just gonna miss. Of course, still plenty of time left to go in the regular season, just over a month, as again, the cutoff date is Sunday, July 19th. That'll be their last regular season game, and then a week from then, on the 26th, we will crown our NABF Collegiate World Series champion. And for us, that'll round out a very eventful summer, at least as of what we look to have ahead. The 2-1 low for ball 3. So after a first pitch strike, 3 consecutive balls from Taylor. A solid campaign for him over at Lorain County. 3-0 record in 13 appearances, a 4.21 ERA, and 25 2/3 innings of work. One of their main guys coming out of the bullpen. The 3-1 able to find it again, and we are full. Of course, you have to give a lot of credit to Jake Solomon for the job that he did over at Lorain County this past season, getting the Commodores back to their best as they look to have a big 2027 ahead. The payoff pitch, it's there for strike 3 looking. And again, Ethan Taylor finds the strikes on his 3rd punchy of the day. It's 1 up, 1 down, and it is his 2nd in a row, going back to last inning. This is the guy they wanted to come in and slam the door, and he is now 5 outs away from doing just that. 8 walks to 11 strikeouts in the spring. Positive ratio in the end. But of course, I think wanted a few more strikeouts and a few less walks. Sharp grounder over towards 3rd. Nicely picked up, and the throw to 1 skips in and is picked in time for out number 2. Nice clean hop on over to Samarin at first. Now that magic number for T3 becomes 4 as Braden Bortnick will step in. Bort so far today 1 for 2 with a single and a flyout. I believe he was the runner that came around to score on Brock Miller's RBI ground out back in the 2nd. As of right now, release his only run of the game. Once again, for those just tuning in, expecting game number 2 to start on time, of course it will not. More likely a 6:30 to 6:45 start time. Bortnick will take the 1-0 low for ball 2. So still should be a great matchup up next. It is the same teams on paper, but at the same time, just a completely different roster for T3. The 2-0 Bortnick thought about it, but takes strike 1. Very twitchy player for Tri-C, and of course a very versatile infielder. Can play over at 2nd, short, and 3rd quite well with some great highlight reel worthy plays this past season for the Tops. One of the big benefactors of the injury bug, especially up the middle. The main infield of Lehner and Merritt got knocked out early on in the season. You had Jan Maz and Bortnick really benefit, especially when Bortnick came back from his own injury. And they took over and became the everyday second baseman shortstop duo. Bortnick there will draw ball 4, and he will take his base. So 1 for 2 on the day, reaching twice. And now Andrew Karhoff will step in, has reached both times up today so far, a walk and a single. And in the bottom of the 6th does represent the tying run for release. Taylor gets to work and will miss wide for ball 1. A nice block, though, behind the plate from Howard. Of course, going forward, you don't want to have to go to your bullpen again if Taylor does lose it. Release already throwing 3 guys in this game, and their goal was to keep it just at the 3. Not wanting to have to bring on 1 more. Karhoff that time will take strike 1. Again, just a really good career over at Archbishop Hoban. One of their best players in recent memory. Taylor's 1-1 pops up and just out of play it goes. So 1-2 count on Andrew Karhoff. Of course, his younger brother was a part of this past Hoban team that bowed out in the regional championship to CVCA. In the end, won 6 varsity letters, 2 in basketball, and the rest, of course, in baseball for 4 years. Runner goes here, pitch is low, throw down 2-second, not there. Bortnick able to snag a bag. So now a 2-2 count, run number 2 in scoring position for release. Realistically, a base hit away from driving him in. And in the on-deck circle, Brock Miller will be exchanged, as it seems like he will stay on the mound. The 2-2 lobbed in, but a swing and a miss from Karhoff to retire the side. Taylor up to 4 strikeouts on the day, and that'll take us into the 7th inning. 3-1 T3 on top, looking to hang on when we return, but one more chance for their offense to add on to their 2-run advantage here in Berea.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Seventh inning time in game number 1 of our doubleheader today, as the first pitch is sent right into Release's dugout. A little powerful swing to get things going for the T3 Warhawk offense. It'll be Brock Miller remaining in the game on the mound, as he will take on 2 through 4 for the Warhawks. Mayfield this time will keep it fair, grounding it over towards short. Long throw to 1 is in time. It's 1 up, 1 down. For T3, they need to try and draw out this inning as much as they can. But for Release, the quicker you get out of it, the better. The less time you have to dwell on being down by 2 and the more action you can take, the more likely they are to get back in this game and win it in the end. Again, their offense, it is powerful. They can come out here and score 3 runs if needed, which they need the 2 to tie, and from there, of course, need a third to walk out of here with a Game 1 win. And they want to continue putting their pedal to the metal going forward, as Popick will fly this one into right center field. And it is easily taken in for out number 2. So 2 simple putouts to begin the inning. This time it's Olsen in center. And that'll bring us to Michael Samarin, the first baseman. 2 ground outs to Hash at second and a walk to his name so far. As for Release, it'll be 6 through 8 due up in the bottom of the 7th inning. Again, just simply trying to get back in this game at the end. But as far as it goes for Brock Miller, of course, the 1 run does come to pass on the pass ball. Just a high pitch, but since then has dialed it up. And it's a big reason why it's not a bigger T3 advantage. The 0-1 fouled off towards the bullpen. Just like that, T3 down to their final strike in the top of the 7th inning. You get the out right here. Best case scenario for the Release offense going forward. They get a chance to quickly come back out and try it again. But we'll have to wait at least one more pitch, as that one will miss high. And Brock Miller, the former 2-time Lorain County Player of the Year. Trying to go back to that magic on the mound. His 1-2 again fouled away. So this inning we have seen a ball go into Release's dugout and one go right towards T3's and bounce off the front wall. One of the more interesting dugouts, as there is a front screen but nothing else. Just kind of an opening in the field. Again, the 1-2, swing and a miss on the high heat, and Miller will get out of the inning, his third strikeout of the day, and it's a 1-2-3 inning. Last chance for Release's offense when we return in the bottom of the 7th inning. 6-3, trying to dial it up at the death for the home team.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Release's offense has 3 outs to play with in the bottom of the 7th inning. It'll be Holcomb in place of Miller, DeLulo, and Shag. 6-8 due up, trying to bring this game back within reach. And if not within reach, within the victory realm, they need 3 to win, 2 to tie. Of course, game number 2 is coming up after this, but for Release, this is their home turf. They're 4-1-1 on the year in the WRCL, and they want to do everything they can to try and keep it that way here. Holcomb first pitch he sees today is inside for ball 1. But this is where this pitcher swap is really going to be helpful for him. He saw it for 5 innings. He knows what the zone is for the most part. I would say nobody better to go in here and navigate around these close pitches. And it's a 2-0 count to start. Of course, after Shag, you have Hash, then Trobenner at the top. So if you can find your way back to the top of the order, you have a great chance to walk out of here with something. Of course, in just game number 1. Holcomb on the 2-0, puts it into left field and down for a leadoff single. That's the base hit Release has been looking for, and this one could be to spark the rally. Really have not gone to the replay center at all today, but we will hear with this one. Just perfectly puts it just past the shortstop Popick. He has had himself a quite nice day defensively. That time just too much to ask for on this nice single off towards the left side. A true seeing eye single just getting down the line. And now that'll bring us to DeLulo. And he will take strike 1 to get it going. He is the tying run, and then after him, it is the winning run in Shag, followed by Hash, then Trobenner. Again, you need 2 to tie, 3 to win. The 0-1 fouled away. So quickly 0-2 on the right fielder. Once again, stick with us after our final commercial break once game number 1 is done, as we will announce our player of the game presented by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. Of course, player of the game pretty much hinging on whoever wins this game. A really big part of it does hinge on that. Taylor's 0-2, lobbed in and swung on and missed. Took away the velocity, got it at the top of the zone, and he now has 5 strikeouts in 2 1/3 innings work. Beyond that, T3 2 outs away from walking out of here with a win in game number 1. And now Shag represents the tying run as he will step in. A good drive over into left field and down. This time more of a line drive in comparison to Holcomb's, but it's 2 hits this inning, both going into left field for Release. The tying run now stands at first, and the winning run is in the box, represented by Tommy Hash. This is the late game rally Release has been waiting for. And of course, you have Trobenner in the on-deck circle. Doesn't matter what level it is. It doesn't matter if it's a regional or not. Still a chance for him to go out here and just have some fun with it. I'm sure a lot less pressure here. 3-1. First pitch in the dirt for ball one. I'm a little concerned now I'm being asked to score. Should I be concerned? Maybe, maybe not. But a 2-run game here. Definitely a good back and forth battle, especially with the pitching duel to begin from Josh Pearson and Andrew Holcomb. The 1-0 just missing. Good take from Hash, who so far today is 0 for 1 with a ground out to short and a walk. Again, Tommy Hash, the sophomore out of Aurora High School, 5'9", 185, a finance major over at Ohio Northern in Ada. The 2-0, he will play this one into left field, and this time around it's caught for out number 2. So the Warhawks 1 out away from getting this one done. And now here comes A.J. Trobenner. 3 home runs, an absolute heater of a regional tournament against Bryan and Stratton. Talk about one of the best bats that really came about at the end of the season. Out of nowhere, it came in the lineup and just started raking at the right time. And there'll be a OCCAC battle as Taylor represents Lorain County. Trobenner steps back and takes ball 1. If Trobenner doesn't get the job done, bring in a national champion, Brady Olson. Not too shabby of a 1-2. You have a breakout start at the top, and then the number 2 spot, a man who has to make some room in his trophy shelf. And looking more into Olson, a solid beginning of the year for him. Had some good game time, played in a total of 23 games. A 51-3 team. We knew Dedison was going to be good, but that good, who knows? The 2-0 taken for ball 3. But of course, no surprise that Denison was what they were this season. And of course, a massive win over Endicott, 4-3. Just a crazy sequence to go and win that national title. Taylor's 3-0. Trobenner takes ball 4, and the bases are loaded. Essentially, because there are 2 outs, Trobenner doesn't matter. Or actually, he does as the winning run, but beyond him, nobody else will matter. These 3 runners, they're the ones to look at. Olson would just be the facilitator. And after Olson, it would be Mighton as a facilitator. Still 3-1. A base hit could tie it at 3. And a good take from Olson for ball 1. Of course, the question is, if this is going to be a walk, do you go and make that change and try to get somebody in for 1 out? Of course, not as big of stakes as you would see in a conference battle at the collegiate level, but still plenty of stakes as this ball is put into right center field, and it is going to be caught. T3 in the end will walk out of here with a win in game number 1, hanging on to the 3-1 win in the end. Bases loaded situation, full release, couldn't connect, and the Warhawks will walk out of here victorious. When we return, we will announce our player of the game presented by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center as you are watching WRCL Baseball on the SmeeSports YouTube channel.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Game number 1 goes in favor of the T3 Warhawks. 3-1 your final. A good defensive battle in our opener this week. Your player of the game presented by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. You look at the way this game went. Releases offense. So many great opportunities down the stretch to get back in this game. But 5 strikeouts from Ethan Taylor kept them off the board. And for his efforts, a 3-inning save. And with it, the win in the end is your player of the game presented by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. A great battle between the 2 and 3 seeds currently in the WRCL. But they are not done yet. Release now 4-2-1 on the year. T3 now 4-3-1 on the year. They do battle one more time. If T3 wins, they will take over the second place spot in the WRCL. If Release wins, they will stay in charge of second place. Of course, both teams looking up right now at the Stark County Terriers. But I am Nathan Smee saying so long for now from Fisher Field and Berea, and we will see you again in a few moments for game number 2, as it is officially time to hop on over to that second game link as you are watching the WRCL on the SmeeSports YouTube channel.